Wouldn't it be nice to just kick back and watch the money roll in? That's the dream, right? Making money while you sleep. And that's pretty much the core idea behind every single thing we're going to talk about today.
So let's get on the same page. What is passive income really? Well, it's basically money you earn without having to constantly work for it day in and day out. The trick is you got to put in the work up front to get things set up. Think of it like climbing a ladder of ideas, starting with the simple stuff and moving up to the more, let's say, sophisticated strategies. So let's get started on that first rung.
All right, here we go. We're starting at the bottom of that ladder, the first and most accessible rung. This is all about using smart tech and, the stuff you probably already have lying around. Okay, first up, an app called Acorns. This thing is brilliant. It's basically a digital piggy bank that invests for you. Every time you buy something, the app just rounds up your purchase to the nearest dollar, and bam, it invests that spare change. You honestly won't even notice it's happening, and then one day you look and hey, you're an investor.
Next, there's this service called Trim, and its whole deal is just super clever. It's totally no risk. Here's how it works. It looks at your bills, like your cable or phone bill, and negotiates a lower price for you. Now, if they save you money, they take a 25% cut of the savings. But, and this is the best part, if they fail, you pay absolutely nothing. Literally, you have nothing to lose.
All right, here's one that so many of us just completely sleep on. Picking the right credit card. I mean, you're spending the money anyway, right? Why not turn it into a passive stream of rewards? For example, if you travel a lot for work, the right card can turn all those company expenses into free flights for your next vacation. It's all about just finding the card that actually fits how you spend. Okay, let's move on from digital stuff to your actual physical things. Think about your car. Seriously, how much of the day is it just sitting there, doing nothing? Well, services like Hire Car and Turo have basically created an Airbnb for cars. You can rent your vehicle out when you're not using it, turning all that idle time into actual income. Pretty smart. And hey, it's not just your car. Just take a second and do a quick mental scan of your garage or your closet. What about that really expensive power drill you bought for that one weekend project? Or that fancy bike that's just collecting dust? All of those things are basically dormant assets, just sitting there, waiting to make you some money.
At the end of the day, it's just simple supply and demand. Take something like a high-end Rumba vacuum. A lot of people would love to have one, but who wants to drop nearly $1,000 on it? So if you buy a couple of them and rent them out, you're filling that need. You're connecting supply with demand and creating a really simple but super effective income stream. Okay, so we've covered the basics. Let's climb up to the next rung of our ladder. This section is all about turning something you're passionate about into a real paycheck, and sometimes with a really clever twist you might not expect.
And let's be real, this is what it's all about for so many of us. I mean, getting paid for doing what you love, isn't that the ultimate dream? It's not just about the money, it's about making money from something you genuinely care about. But the big question is, how do you make that passive? Now, this is a really fascinating hack. Let's talk about publishing an ebook. The source here makes a really important distinction. It doesn't say write a book, it says publish one. What's the difference? Well, it means you can go on a site like Fiverr, hire a talented ghostwriter to do the writing for you, and then you publish the book under your name and collect all the royalties. You're not the author, you're the publisher. Mind-blowing, right?
Okay, that's a cool idea for a book. But music? That seems like a whole different ballgame. I mean, surely you have to be a musician to earn music royalties, right?
Well, believe it or not, the logic is exactly the same, and the process is way simpler than you'd think. You go to a site like Fiverr, find a musician whose work you love, and you buy the full rights to a song or a piece of music. Then you just upload that music to all the streaming services yourself, and, you guessed it, you collect the royalties. Again, you're the publisher, not the artist.
Now, what if you are the creator? For all you artists, writers, and podcasters out there, platforms like Patreon are a game changer. It's a way to get recurring monthly funding directly from the people who love your work. You set up your page, offer some cool rewards to your supporters, and build a community that literally funds your passion. It's a super powerful way to turn your audience into a reliable income. All right, we're getting near the top of the ladder now. These next ideas, these are the big leagues. We're talking about high-risk, high-reward ventures that need a bigger investment, either of your money or your business smarts. But the potential payoff is huge.
So let's say you've already built a successful business. That's amazing. But how do you scale it without working yourself to the bone? One classic answer? is franchising. As the franchisor, that's you provide your established brand and your proven business plan. The franchisee, in return, gives you initial fees and then ongoing royalties. Your brand gets to grow and expand, but you don't have to manage every single location yourself.
Okay, buckle up for this next one because it is definitely in that high risk, high reward zone, but it's absolutely fascinating. It all starts with this kind of wild question. Yeah, it sounds a little intense, but this is a very real and potentially very lucrative investment strategy. So, how in the world does this work? Basically, when a homeowner can't pay their property taxes, the government allows investors like you to step in and pay those taxes for them. In return, you get what's called a tax lien certificate. You now have the right to collect that debt from the homeowner, plus a pretty hefty interest rate. But here's the kicker. If they still can't pay you back, you could potentially foreclose and take ownership of the entire property. Like I said, super high risk, but the reward could be massive. And finally, at the very top of our ladder, we have creating an app. Now, it's not rocket science, but let's be clear, it's a major project. You need a really good idea, and you need the money to hire a skilled team of developers and designers to build it. But if you nail it, even a simple, well-designed app can become a money-making machine, generating passive income for years and years to come. So there you have it. We've climbed the whole ladder, from using simple apps on your phone all the way to high-stakes ventures like tax liens and app development. You've seen the whole spectrum. So the only question left is, what's your first step going to be?